I'm excited to see the behind the scenes. We came here last time and we talked to Mark a little bit, and I feel like I'm part of the family.
Yes, you are. Well,
A little bit.
We hope everybody who walks through those doors feel that they're a part of the family, because that's in essence what the show is really all about.
Yeah, it's awesome. Last time he kind of showed me the behind the scenes, and he was showing me the little candle holder that he made, and it's just really...
Mark did? I'm so proud of that candle. Well, you know, he's really our... he loves to do DIY projects, and if he had his way, he would be doing something like that every single day. He loves going in the garage, and of course I love going in the kitchen, and so that's our thing.
And he told me that you do a lot of the flowers around the home too.
Well, did he tell you that because I know I've heard him quote this. He said, "Christina thinks she actually lives here." Yeah, which is true.
I want you to get back at Mark in a sense. I asked him a question last time. I was like, what's one thing about Cristina that nobody knows? And he was like, oh, well, one of her legs are shorter than the other. Joking, of course.
Wow.
But then he turned it around. But then he turned it around and he said, what he really loved about you is that you're very vulnerable. And who you are is what you are and what you show to everybody. And so I want to give you a chance to tell us one thing about Mark that we may not know.
He is a puppy dog. You see this really big, strong man who seems like he has everything in control. And what I love about him, he's not afraid to show his feminine side. You know, where he loves cooking. He's a great father.
Yeah, and he told me that you help him with the cooking because he's in the garage trying to do those things, and he's like, I try to cook, but I can't. But you're the master at it.
Well, it is. But I also try to give him advice, which he won't take at all. He goes, I tell him, and then he goes, you know what, don't tell me what to do.
Well, like what kind of advice have you tried to give him?
Well, sometimes, you know, I have 7 children, and I have already been through everything that there is to go through with children. So when I see what he's going through with Mark, and I'd say, okay, and I try to tell him what to expect, he won't listen. And it's like, well, okay.
7 children, and I'm sure putting together a meal for 7 people might be difficult. Christmas might be crazy for you.
We have a very large family of 52 people all together.
Wow.
So Christmases and Thanksgivings are really huge.
And you're the go-to person. Are you setting up the meals for everybody?
Well, this year was the first year ever in my life where I didn't do anything. My daughters, my 28-year-old daughter Alexandra is a chef, and my other daughter Ariana too. We're big foodies. You know, Christmas and Thanksgiving is huge, and this is the first year I let them do it. But they did say to me, wow, Mom, how did you do it? Because I do everything in my head, and they were writing lists and notes and everything, but it turned out really spectacular.
That's crazy. And I think that's why people like watching your show, because you really know how to cook all the best meals. And for 7 children, like, you can do it all. What's the secret for women that watch you and they do have big families and they're trying to put together a meal fast? Or what would you tell them? What's the secret?
I always make sure that I have my pantry filled with items that are essentials, you know, like your canned organic chicken stocks, your tomatoes, you have lemon, olive oil, different kinds of pastas. You have to stock your pantry.
I'm kind of curious what your comfort food is, because you kind of cook it all and you know many recipes, but when you want comfort, what's the one thing that you cook for yourself?
Pasta, of course, of course. But I like the angel hair pasta, and I just lift it out of the water, and I add fresh lemon juice, olive oil, fresh parsley and basil, salt and pepper, a little cheese.
And what's been a memorable moment that you did give back and that you remember, like that one dish that really showed your love?
Well, there's so many, because, you know, I do have a cookbook called A Big Bowl of Love, and it always has to do with some kind of a pasta dish, and for me, it would be ravioli, but people think it's really hard to make, but I make mine with wonton skins, so I don't have to make the dough itself, and it's really easy to assemble, and I love making the big platter, because I can remember my Nonna coming in at the table with this big platter, and the way that looked, I'm going to start crying. The look on her face, you know, when she put the platter down on the table, it was filled with so much love that I remember that. Look at me, I'm a crazy person.
That's
I'm crying.
awesome, though.
You know, yeah, no, but that's, you know, my family's really important, and to me, the kitchen is the hub, is the nucleus, the center, you know, of the family and of family living.
What's some of the fun things that happen behind the scene, or something that's happened when you're cooking a dish and it just went wrong, and you're like, cut, but you can't cut.
We can't cut. And I think the other day something happened too, where something happened. Oh, I know. I was chopping something, with Mark, and I've been sick, and so I put my head down, and I could feel my nose starting to run, and I knew if I didn't catch it, it was, I knew it was going to go in the food, so I said, oh my God, I have to go blow my nose. And you know what? I did.
That's so perfect. Those are the fun moments.
I did because that's real. And then, I washed my hands afterwards so people won't say, oh, she blew her nose and didn't wash her hands. But no, because that's what you need to do after you blow your nose. Yeah. So it's what you see is what you get. It's real. We are real.
If you could take over like the whole entire production of Home and Family and you could kind of set out what you were going to talk about for the day, what would it be?
It's interesting because in our show, which is 2 hours long, there's not one topic.
Right.
We have 11 segments every single day, and every different elements. Like today, we're having all the Dynasty people on, which is a reunion. There isn't really anything at the moment that I could think of because we have tackled so many subjects over the last 3 years.
You're working on a new cooking book, correct?
Yes, I'm working on a new book, and it's ironically it's called What's Inside That Matters. And it's a cookbook, and it's what you put inside your body.
So this is really important, the good food that you've been talking about. Yeah.
Yes, and Mark is going to do the photography for me.
How perfect!
Yeah, I do have to give it to him. He is a brilliant photographer.
That is so great. So not only here on set you guys work together, but outside projects as well.
Yes, we're very close friends. Our families are very close.
That's great. Well, thank you so much. And if you could just tell us one thing out from the book, a little secret of one recipe that's going to be in there, a little sneak peek.
I made French toast that was to die, but it had, I call it berry good syrup. So it's syrup, it's made from berries.
Ooh, yum.
Yeah, and it was, and I have pictures and everything of it. Instead of using syrup, you use the agave nectar, and there are different ways to sweeten it, and it was really good. But I'm doing that on my blog.
What is it called, so we can know?
It's What's Inside That, no. Oh, God, now I can't remember. What's Inside Matters.
What's Inside Matters? But the French toast, what is the French toast called?
I haven't named it yet. No.
Berry something. Berry good toast.
Very good. Very good French toast.